the different areas that are covered are mapped here. So this is a pretty, you could see that there are some very well served areas, and there are some areas that aren't so well served.
What's the yellow area?
Covelo
I know where it is, but what's
it's served by half a meg to a megabit equivalent service.
Is that really low?
That's okay. It could be better, but it's okay. It's better than nothing. You can see lots of areas here that don't have any colors, so that's the areas where you have unserved situations. So if we look at the list of completely unserved communities with the wired and fixed wireless broadband today, that would include Boonville, Branscombe, Comchi, Dos Rios, Elk, Leggett, Navarro, I never can pronounce this right, Philo, Westport, and Yorkville. So those have no wired or fixed wireless service at all. No providers, zero. So forget about competitive providers. They have zero, okay? Then there are two underserved areas due to two different issues. One is because of backhaul issues, so I told you that it's hard to get out of that area. And the other is because of adjacent coverage issues. So in the backhaul issues, Covelo, Hopland, Manchester, and Point Arena are well served in their very skinny little, you can see their skinny little areas that they poke into. But if you live, 50 feet outside of that skinny little area, you get nothing. Again, that would be Albion, Casper, Little River, and Mendocino. Okay, the backhaul issues, which are the south coast area and Covelo, there is no way for these guys to get out of there. There's aging copper infrastructure, and so this is a real problem, and has to really be dealt with the provider of last resort in your area, which I believe is AT&T. Somebody really needs to sit down with them and explain that this is a real restriction for your neighborhoods. We just were able to get this data in the GIS system last week, but I wanted to show it to you because this is a pretty recent development within the last month and a half. Actually went and stopped by your Verizon wireless store and bought one of these contraptions. This is a little contraption that you can plug into your computer and will give you access to this mobile broadband wireless in all of these areas that have yellow on them. So you can see that this actually picks up some pretty significant areas that don't have any service today. Down in this area down here where there's very little service, some of the areas along the coast where the service isn't quite so good, and then also up in this area here where there is sort of sporadic service are also picked up by these. This is a pretty reasonable contraption. It's a little bit more expensive than the other kinds of services, and they do have a limit of the amount of stuff you want to do. So if you wanted to listen to the radio on the internet or something like that, you're probably going to hit their limit. But if you don't have anything else, it's certainly something to do, and the performance is much better than a satellite performance.
Ms. Estrada, we have a question. Supervisor Smith.
Thank you. There's actually a community way up at the northern border of Mendocino called Whale Gulch, and they probably should be added to your list. There's a school there, and I'm pretty sure they don't have broadband.
Okay.
So that would be another small community in the rural north that would need to be added. It's not even on your map. I mean, it's it's quite a
Let
small.
me tell you that I now
area.
know more communities in the North Coast region than I ever thought I would, and we appreciate the input. And it was very, very hard to come up with the right list of communities. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to stop where we were to make sure we were able to pick up these additional pieces of information that we knew were really important
And
to
there
the
is
region.
a public school there, so
Okay.
it's part of the
Whale Gulch.
Liggett School District.
Okay, and it's on the coast.
It's a northwest corner.
Okay.
Supervisor Colfax.
Yes, I have a technical question. How
Sure.
come we managed to get that little device held up? Why is it working?
In Philo, thank you, technically challenged here. I presume we're on all the time here in Ukiah.
You are Supervisor Colfax.
I hope so. That little device works in Boonville, I'm being told. I'm just wondering how far down, out to the west from Boonville, because I think the dead space is right about the end of my driveway. But the question I have is, what is the device and what service is being provided by that little device?
This for this particular outlay that's showing on the map that's on the screen versus the
Yeah.
paper map, the difference is this is the mobile wireless. So in this case, what I can get is an average download speed of 600 kilobits to 1.4 megabits. This would be an average upload speed of 500 to 800. This is good. Okay,
No, but
just
my
on the
question-
scheme of things, it's not as good as what the state of California wants, because they want in the download to be 3, and they want the upload to be 1 megabit, which is 1,000 kilobits. Okay.
But again, who's the server? Who's the provider
This
here?
is the one in Mendocino County is Verizon Wireless.
It's Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work at my place. Okay, even though they claim to.
If you have if you have a Verizon cell phone and it works there, it probably works.
It doesn't.
Okay, that's a good way to tell.
But the question I have, or the point I have here is that 12 of the 19 communities